Hello everyone, so August is upon us. You wouldn't believe it with me standing in my garden with an umbrella in the pouring rain, but August is here. The season is well underway. We've been harvesting from our plots, they're absolutely full, but August is still a time that we can be sowing for this season and for the next. So I've asked some YouTubers in the community to let us know what they're sowing in August, to give us some really good ideas about what we can do ourselves. So we're going to go straight over to Danny at the Grapevine Garden, and he's going to start us off with some ideas of what we can be sowing in August.
So thank you, Gemma, for inviting me onto your channel, and she's asked me that one thing that I'm going to be sowing in August, and this is it. So today I'm going to be sowing my spring cabbages for next year. I'm sowing April and Wheeler's Imperial this year. They're pointed sweet cabbages, and I know they'll be beautiful at the start of next year. So I'm going to sow 4 trays, 1 tray each for in here and 1 tray each for outside. And the idea is that this inside here, I'm going to plant them underneath the tomatoes, and then when I take these out then at the end of September, October, they'll carry on growing through the winter. And I think this will be a better environment inside the polytunnel, so all over the winter this will be a controlled environment. I'm Danny, and this is the Grapevine Garden.
It's so reassuring to know that even at this late stage in the season, we can still plant something that we're going to be able to harvest in a few weeks' time before everything goes to sleep for the winter. So what I'm going to do today is show you just how quick and easy it is to plant this perennial favourite. Can you see that? Which is a radish. And all I'm going to do is just sow 2, try and make them even, Jane, lines there. And the reason I have left such a big gap between those lines is because as soon as those leaves start to show their little heads above the soil, which will probably be in a week, if that, depending on conditions, I know then that it's time to do another couple of lines between them, and so another couple of lines of radish. So we'll have them at different stages of growth, and you can also use it to demarcate your rows. So for example, we all know how long it takes for our parsnip seeds to look like they've germinated at all. So plant a line of radishes next to where you've got your parsnip seeds, or even mix your radish seed in with your parsnip seeds, and the radish will come up and remind you exactly where your line is. The other thing that they are great for, and I did not know this until recently, is you can actually eat the leaves. Who'd have thunk? Now, I can't imagine they taste very nice raw, because they'd probably be a little bit furry, but yeah, apparently you can put them in stir fries, you can steam them like spinach. So don't overlook the humble radish as being something that's just for kids, because when you're looking for that extra crunch in your salad at the end of the season, this will be the perfect crop.
As August fast approaches, one of the easiest and tasty ways to extend our growing season and to make sure that we can still crop through August and into winter is lettuces. Using a small pot, placing some seeds on the surface and a light dusting of compost on top, it will reward you with a pot full of lettuces. These can all be pricked out individually, and then at Odds Ox we put ours into a module, so it gives us a little bit of time to grow them a little bit bigger so the slugs aren't as interested. In time, these will go into the ground, either outdoors for August growth, or we'll hold them back into the module trays for a little bit and place them a little bit later into the polytunnels or the greenhouses as soon as the tomatoes are finished harvesting. This will give you a fantastic crop of lettuces to cut all the way through winter, especially if you're just removing the outer leaves to harvest. It's amazing how much lettuces actually produce, and it should be something that we all should be growing at home, something that we could really be grateful for as the nights start drawing in and the days start getting colder. Having that fresh green taste on your plate really does lift the spirits.
Hi everyone, Will, Flying Gardener here. So Gemma's asked me a question about what I would sow and what I would recommend to sow in August. So, Gemma, I would say, I would repeat what I did last year actually. So if anyone knows, has been watching my channel, you'll know last year in August I directly sown some dwarf French beans, and the variety was, if I remember correctly, Safari. Now I'd already sown some and had a crop from previous earlier sowings, but I thought I had some spare patch of ground and I thought to myself, okay, let's try some later beans. And do you know what? They worked fantastically. So that is exactly what I'm going to be doing this year in August. I'm going to be direct sowing dwarf French green beans. And the ones I'm going to be sowing this year are, this is Compass, this is from Thompson & Morgan. And as I say, I sowed Safari last year and they were absolutely fantastic, brilliant croppers. This year I've sown Ferrari and they've been fantastic as well. I'll show you quickly where I'm going to put them. So these are my earlier sown dwarf French beans and they have been fantastic. These are Ferrari. So I've got these going here, and this is where I'm going to be popping the new Compass variety, which I haven't grown before, and they're going to be going in there, which is where my onions have come from. I'm going to leave that netting over there as well because it stops the birds pecking at the new seedlings as they emerge, so they're going to be directly sown. So I hope that's given you some idea of what things you can grow. I'm sure the other YouTubers have given you some good ideas as well, but I say it's been fantastic for me, so I'm going to repeat it this year. Thank you so much, Gemma, for inviting me on your channel. Take care.
Hello and welcome to my greenhouse here at Ebenezer Cottage Garden. My name's Lawrence, and if it's your first time meeting me, I like to grow no-dig vegetables in my back garden here in Norfolk. Thank you so much, Gemma, for asking me to be on. And what I'm going to go with is I'm going to tell you just a handful of crops that I'm really putting some focus on during August. And the first one of those is rocket. It's a great time of year to dust off that old packet that you had back in spring and sow them again, because they're going to come good around September when the temperatures drop a bit and you get a really nice, lovely crop to enjoy throughout autumn and possibly through the winter too. The next one that I would suggest to you is pak choi for a similar reason. It tends to bolt in the summer months, but if you sow it now, then chances are you'll have a nice little crop to enjoy through autumn for your stir fries. And one that I'm particularly excited about growing is dwarf beans. The ones I'm going to be growing are borlotti beans. As you can see, they're lovely looking beans, quite interesting to sow and grow. Great fun if you're growing with children. And what will happen is if you choose a dwarf variety, you'll get a nice quick crop throughout the autumn. They won't grow as high as the climbing ones, but you'll certainly get a nice crop that you can choose to either dry or cook with fresh straight away. But my champion vegetable for these months is chimidirapa, which is from, well, they grow it in Asia and also southern Italy as well, but it's almost like a bitter broccoli head, and you can also grow the leaves. It's worth considering that you can grow different varieties that grow at different speeds. You've got some that will be ripe and ready within 60 days, other that you can leave longer in the ground up to 120 days. I like them both and I'm going to sow them both, but the advantage of the 120 days and the longer varieties are that they might catch a little bit of frost, which just improves the flavour. If you've enjoyed what you've seen today and you want to follow me on social media, you can find me under Ebenezer Cottage Garden on YouTube, Instagram and TikTok. Happy gardening.
Good morning. I'm just going to let you know I was invited by Gemma to let you know what I'm sowing in late July and early August. Not a lot. I do definitely want to get some more greens done, so we will be doing some spinach. I sow spinach constantly. I'm doing a winter blend and the New Zealand spinach. New Zealand spinach is much nicer cooked, not so much in salads, but we don't mind that. So spinach, kales, ever-present kales. I have, get rid of the kalettes. I have a winter storm, a winter blend, and I'll try some more Tuscan kale. Seeing a trend here of winter vegetables. They're all called winter something. I will be doing some more spring onions, just regular spring onions, and I'll be trying some more musselburgh leeks. Mine were attacked by aphids for some reason or another, which is weird for me. I've never had aphids on my leeks before. And I'll probably do some more radish tapes. and hopefully these ones won't bolt. And always in the fall, I do right up until the end of August, I sow bush beans, because even though they might not grow huge, they do grow little beans that any bean that's fresh in the wintertime is a good one. Hope that's fun. Have a great day.
Hello Gemma, thank you for inviting me onto your channel and giving me the opportunity to share with your viewers what I will be sowing in August. In August, I will be getting in my herbs. So I'm planning to sow coriander, mustard and fenugreek. Now, these herbs are fantastic to sow in August because with the warm weather, I can direct sow on my plot and the seedlings put on some size. So come September and the cooler months, there's less chance of the plants bolting, so you get to enjoy them for longer. There's really lots of health benefits for fenugreek as well. It's a herb that has a very strong fragrance, almost has like a curry-like fragrance to it. You can harvest these herbs fresh and use them in your cooking, or you can even dry them, so it will even last longer, well into next year. So that's what I will be sowing in August.
Hi everyone, I'm Rasheen from That Girl That Grows, and this month in August I'm going to be trying out a couple of little bits and bobs to go into the allotment and into our kitchen garden as well. So I'm not sure whether some things will work, but we're just going to give it a go. So first, in regards to the salads and things like that, I'm going to be planting some stir-fry salads because these came out absolutely lovely last time. Some just all year round lettuce because this worked really well at the allotment. I'm also going to be trying some rocket, some spinach and some lemon balm. And then for our climbing structure at the allotment, I'm just going to be redoing ours. So I'm going to try and put in some ambassador peas and some Blue Lake French climbing peas. And then for a bit more like hardy things, I'm going to try and do some Swiss chard, some black magic kale, some white Lisbon onions, a couple of leeks and some beetroot. And then last year at this time of the year, I actually stuck some carrots in the ground and they did do okay. So I'm going to plant in some purple dragons and some Amsterdam forcing because these are absolutely lovely, the Amsterdam forcings. And then for flowers, I'm going to be planting some forget-me-nots, some Californian poppies because I just love the look of these, and some chamomile as well. So I'm not sure whether they're all going to grow, but we're going to give it a go and just test. The worst thing that can happen is that they just don't grow, and I just lose a couple of seeds. So yeah, thank you.
So there are some absolutely fantastic ideas from everyone about what to sow in August, and I will definitely be doing a lot of those, if not all of them, to keep my growing going all the way through. What I'm going to be doing, and I've never done this before, I'm going to be sowing some more first early potatoes. So I've got a little selection here. I've got some Pentland Javelin, I've got some Desiree, I've got some Maris Piper, and I've got some Charlotte potatoes, and I'm going to be doing them in tubs like this. I'm going to be putting them in my greenhouse and in my polytunnel, and then in about 12 weeks, hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm going to be harvesting some potatoes. So thank you so much to everyone who is involved in making this video. I'll leave all of their details in the description so you can check out their channels. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you again soon.